They say stick to sports. Entertain us, thrill us, infuriate us, but don't tell us what you actually think. Stick to sports. This summer, after George Floyd was killed by a police officer in Minneapolis, we couldn't stick to sports. You couldn't either. The world was forced to listen to the obvious and inalienable truth that some of us have been screaming for years. Black Lives Matter. NBA and WNBA players united to amplify the message and help bring change to their communities and to yours. But if you think this is the first time this has happened, you haven't been paying attention. In 2012, the Miami Heat donned hoodies to protest the killing of young Trayvon Martin. In 2014, NBA players wore "I Can't Breathe" warm-ups as a protest against Eric Garner being choked to death. In 2016, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, and Chris Paul took the stage at the ESPYs to speak out against the violence which had taken the lives of hundreds of young black men, such as Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, and 13-year-old Tamir Rice, among many, many more. Over in the WNBA, Minnesota Lynx players wore "Change Starts With Us" warm-ups after the police killings of Philando Castile and Alton Sterling, while the Indiana Fever knelt during the national anthem. In 2019, WNBA superstar Maya Moore, one of the greatest players in the history of her sport, stepped away from the league altogether to push for criminal justice reform and the release of Jonathan Irons, who had served 23 years of a 50-year prison sentence for a crime he did not commit. And these are, of course, only the most contemporary examples. NBA royalty Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Russell have been fighting this battle for their entire lives. So what makes this time different? NBA players teamed up with the league to allow statements such as "Black Lives Matter" on their jerseys instead of their names, while the WNBA focused on the female victims of police violence and will have Breonna Taylor's name on their jerseys. Black Lives Matter will be painted on the courts in both Orlando and Bradenton. For many players, this was just scratching the surface. Dwight Howard, Patty Mills, and Drew Holiday have pledged to donate their bubble salaries to various social justice causes. LeBron James, Trae Young, and Skylar Diggins-Smith have teamed up to create More Than a Vote, an organization aimed at protecting African Americans' voting rights, while others such as Tobias Harris and Jeremy Grant have used their media availability to speak about Black Lives Matter. And for those that think this is all talk, remember what we said about Maya Moore? In July, she was standing there waiting at the Jefferson City Correctional Center when Jonathan Irons finally walked out of prison as a free man after a judge overturned his conviction. It still remains to be seen what on-court demonstrations we will see in the coming months, but one thing's for sure, these players will certainly not shut up and dribble, and we will all be better because of it.
Download the all-new Fox Sports app now.